Today, we're starting the 6th episode on Surah An-Nissa. We begin with verse 51, which says, "Have you not seen those who were given a portion of the book? They believe in superstition and false gods, and say to the disbelievers, 'These are better guided than the believers.'" What's the reason for the revelation of this verse? It's that Ka'b ibn al-Ashraf, the Jew, went to Abu Sufyan ibn Harb after the Battle of Uhud. He took 70 men and went to Sufyan ibn Harb to make an agreement with him to declare war on the Prophet and fight him. Basically, their goal was to wipe out Islam and the Muslims. Anyway, a conversation took place between them, and Abu Sufyan welcomed him, honored him, and hosted them. Of course, he and his 70 men were given places to stay and all the hospitality. So Abu Sufyan said to him, he said to Ka'b, "You Jews are people of the book, just like Muhammad, and we can't be sure that your coming here isn't some kind of trick, and that this alliance with us might be a deception. So to prove your true intentions to us, we have our 2 idols. You must prostrate yourselves before them." So all 70 of you, with your leader Ka'b ibn al-Ashraf, should bow down to the 2 idols and worship them. Then we'll believe you. Anyway, our man Ka'b ibn al-Ashraf didn't hesitate. He gathered up the 70 men with him, and they all went and actually prostrated themselves before the 2 idols and worshiped them, just like that. So what did Abu Sufyan say to him? He said, "Look here, Ka'b, you're a man who can read and write, a man of knowledge, one of the people of the book and all that, while we're just unlettered folk. So I'm going to present you with our religion, and you can judge whether we're the ones in the right or if Muhammad is." Ka'b replied, "Go ahead, tell me." He said, "Sir, we slaughter animals for the pilgrims. We take good care of the pilgrims, give them water, honor our guests, maintain family ties, keep up God's house, and perform the circumambulation around it." Keep in mind, these were the Quraysh disbelievers, but they used to perform the circumambulation properly. And we are the people of the sanctuary, and our religion is ancient. But as for Muhammad, wait, whose words are these? It's Sufyan ibn Harb speaking, comparing his own situation to that of the Prophet Muhammad. "But as for the Prophet Muhammad, he abandoned the religion of his forefathers, severed family ties, left the sanctuary, and his religion is new." Then Ka'b ibn al-Ashraf responds to him, saying, "By God, you are on a better path than what Muhammad is upon." All right, very good. So the verse was revealed after this conversation between Sufyan ibn Harb and Ka'b ibn al-Ashraf. The verse came down? Yes, the verse, very good. So the verse pretty much covered what happened. It covered Abu Sufyan's request to Ka'b that he and the 70 men with him should prostrate to the 2 idols. Yes, the 2 idols they call Al-Jit and Al-Tagit. The verse also covered Ka'b's response to Abu Sufyan when Abu Sufyan said, "This is our description and our attributes, and Muhammad's description and his attributes. By God, you are more rightly guided in your way." The verse was revealed with the exact words of Ka'b ibn al-Ashraf. "Have you not seen those who were given a portion of the book?" All right, so who are those who were given a portion of the book here? Ka'b ibn al-Ashraf and, yes, The Jews and his companions. Okay, fine. Who are the disbelievers? Abu Sufyan and his companion. All right. So who are the believers? The prophet and his companions. So the verse is describing what happened. What Kabi ibn al-Ashraf said came down in the verse, word for word. And he told him, by God, you are more rightly guided in your way. So it was revealed in the verse. And the disbelievers say, these are more rightly guided than those who believe, exactly as it is, word for word. Who is the source of this statement? It's the source of what I just told you. The conversation that took place between Abu Sufyan ibn Harb and Kabi ibn al-Ashraf is in Malam al-Tanzil by al-Baghawi. All right, great. 52. Those are the ones whom Allah has cursed, and whomever Allah curses, you will never find for him any helper. Very good. What does that mean? So who are those? The ones we, like Kabi ibn al-Ashraf, and the others we've been talking about. Those Jews, Allah cursed them, meaning he expelled them from his mercy. That's what the scholars say. They say no, when Allah curses, it means he expels someone from his mercy. But honestly, if God expels someone from his mercy, no one can help him. Meaning what? And whomever Allah curses, you will never find a way for him. God has cursed you and expelled you, so no one at all can help you in this world. Very good. We're not disagreeing about the source of this statement. Fath al-Qadir by al-Shawkani. Very good. But let's look at the meaning of curse in the language, in the dictionaries. This is elgendynyc. Now, language. Pay attention, because you'll see that language can harm you, not help you. Because this language was invented 400 years after the Quran was revealed. And yet, they still want to judge the Quran by it. Anyway, look, sir, who curses? It's the one who curses. Who is it that insults and curses people? The Contemporary Arabic Language Dictionary. Go to the entry for curse. You'll see that the word curse means to insult. So does God insult? All right. Now, the word accursed. Accursed is someone whom people insult because of how much evil he does. That's not just an al-Mujam al-Raidi either. And both al-Mujam al-Wasit and al-Mujam al-Raidi say that accursed is someone whom people insult because of how much evil he does. Two major dictionaries. So cursing doesn't mean expulsion, it means insulting. All right, never mind. Let me give you, sir, some verses instead of just definitions. Here are Quranic verses that say cursing means insulting. Take this. Those are the ones whom Allah curses, and so do the cursers. That's verse 159 of Al-Baqarah. Now, let's assume for a moment that Allah curses them means he expels them from his mercy. But then, when it says the cursers curse them, from where are the cursers expelling them? Here's another. Upon them is the curse of Allah, angels, and all people. That's Al-Baqarah, verse 161. And we've already mentioned this. Okay, so Allah curses, he expels from his mercy. But what about the angels and the people? What do? They also expel them from their mercy. All right. Their recompense is that upon them is the curse of Allah and the angels. That's Al-Imran, verse 87. So Allah expels from his mercy, and the angels too. All right, fine. Next. Every time a nation enters, it curses its sister. Al-Iraf, verse 38. Does a nation cursing another mean expulsion from mercy, or just insult? Next, those who disbelieve were cursed. Yes, I'm sorry. Those who disbelieved among the children of Israel were cursed by the Tanna. Those who disbelieved among the children of Israel were cursed by the tongue of David and Jesus, son of Mary. Al-Ma'idah, verse 78. So, cursing is the reason. Al-Lisan 53. Or do they have a share of the kingdom? Then they would not give people even a speck. What does that mean? We're still talking about the Jews. It means that the Jews had any share of the kingdom. By God, they wouldn't give anyone even a peel. Yeah, the pit of a date, a nekyra. That's the date seed, or like the skin of a peanut. They wouldn't even give you that. Why? Because they're known for extreme stinginess. What's the source? Sad al-Mazir fi ilm al-Tafsir by Ibn al-Jawzi. Very good. All right, here. The second point, after we've explained the meaning, is that this verse was recited by Abdullah ibn Masudi and Abdullah ibn Abbas. They recited it as Utah, not Utuna as it appears in the verse. What's the source? Who said this? Al-Muharrir al-Wajiz fi Tafsir al-Kitab al-Aziz by Ibn Atiyah. All right, here's a question, by the way. According to the context of the Quran itself, the word him always comes to compare between two opposites. I'll give you an example. It always says this or that, this or that. It's always in for something and its opposite. So where is the thing and its opposite here? Does M here mean or what? Or if? If they were given a share of such and such, they wouldn't have given anyone anything at all. A share of authority or kingship or something like that. Here, take some verses from the Quran that confirm what I'm saying. It's always that the word "im" comes for comparing two opposites. All right, here you go. For example, it is the same for them whether you warn them or do not warn them. They will not believe. It is the same for them whether you warn them or you do not warn them. It's something and its opposite, the thing and its contrary. So whether warn or not, and darnahum and lam tundurum, they will not believe this one. Al-Baqarah 6. Okay, tell me, are you more knowledgeable than God? You know better than God. Okay. Al-Baqarah 140. Okay, take it differently. Whether we are impatient or patient. Whether we are impatient or patient is the same thing and its opposite, because patience is different from impatience. So this is an understandable issue. Okay. Surah Ibrahim, verse 21. Here, I really don't see the use of the word as it appears in the Quranic context. 54. Or do they envy people for what Allah has given them of His bounty? Indeed, we gave the family of Abraham the scripture and wisdom and conferred upon them a great kingdom. What does it mean here? Or do they envy? Or do they envy people? People here mean the Prophet Muhammad. The people. The word people here refers to the Prophet Muhammad. You see, the Jews, they envied the Prophet Muhammad for the 9 women he was married to. So the Jews said, if he were a prophet, if he were a real prophet, prophethood would have kept him too busy for women. So God responded to them, saying, no, that's not the case. This actually happened before the prophet with the family of Abraham. How did it happen with David and Solomon? The sons of Prophet Abraham, they combined both kingship and prophethood, and kingship didn't affect their prophethood at all. David alone had, what, 100 wives? And you're ending the prophet over 9. David had 100 wives, and Solomon had 1,000 free women, and 700 women who were either servants or wealthy or something like that. A worshiper, you know? I have no idea what he was doing with 1,700. But anyway, he really had quite the appetite. He was getting results. So the jurist here draws a conclusion saying that since David had 100 and Solomon had 1,700, and it didn't affect their prophethood, then, accordingly, 9 wives would not affect the prophethood of Prophet Muhammad. Who is it that says this word for word? Exactly. It's mentioned by Allah al-Din Abu al-Hassan, who is famously known as Al-Kazim, in his book Libab al-Tawal fi Ma'ani al-Tanzil. Now, here comes the issue, or the point, or the problem of the Prophet marrying 9 women. This is something that concerns him entirely. It's very good how the Quran covers the event. The event of the Prophet's marriage. This was made part of the message itself, not just a transmission of the message. 55. So among them are those who believed in him. Pay close attention to the phrase in him. And among them are those who turned away from him. We're still talking about the prophet, and this is about the Jews, those who believed in him. And among them are those who turned away from him or denied him, and hell is enough as a blazing fire. Very good. What does that mean? Among the Jews, some believed in the prophet, and some denied his prophethood. Who is the source that says that's what it means? That's the meaning of the verse. It's in the wonders of the Quran and the marvels of the Criterion by Al-Kami al-Nisaburi. This is also bit here. Here, it's believed in him and turned away from him. Here, the truth is, the prophet was made the focus, even though faith is supposed to be in God alone, not in the prophet. Good. Here I actually have an interpretation, or I have a different understanding or perspective on the matter. Here, if we take it literally, it means that the pronouns in him and from him refer specifically to the prophet, that is, those who believed in the prophet and those who turned away from the prophet. This turns him from a messenger who conveys the message into someone who originates the message and is part of it. And that's not correct. The prophet is not part of the message, nor is he its originator. So what is the perspective that I see? It's that we consider there to be an implied pronoun. So, among them are those who believed in his message, and among them are those who turned away from it. The messenger isn't part of the story at all, because he is only the conveyor of the message. 56. Disbelievers, we will drive them into fire. Every time their skins are roasted, we will replace them with other skins. Allah is mighty and wise. Look, my friend. The meaning here is that this is a warning to the Jews who disbelieved in God's signs, that God will punish them in the hereafter. Very well. Here, the scholars differed about what exactly. As for the changing of skins, some of them said that the skins themselves will be replaced. They'll get a new skin, like putting on a new shirt, so they can be punished again, and so on. And some said, no, that's not it. It will just change. The skins will either be replaced or their characteristics will change. So when their nature changes and they burn again, They feel the punishment anew. This will happen automatically then. You get what I mean? Alright. Al-Hassan ibn Abi al-Hassan said skin changes 70,000 times daily. Their obsession with 70 is strange. 70 virgins, 70,000 skin changes. The number 7 is truly peculiar. Anyway, what's the source of all this talk? Who's saying these things? Skin is replaced, not just changed. 70,000 times daily. This talk comes from Al-Jawahir al-Hizn fi Tafsir al-Quran by Al-Alabi. I mean, for example, maybe he could poke out their eyes, put them back in place, and poke them out again. They assign an angel to each person to poke the eyes of the guy who's being tortured or something like that. It's just the skin. I mean, it's the only organ in the body that feels the torment. Honestly, I mean, the Quran itself. I'm not saying this. The Quran itself said, "We do not send the signs except as a warning." It said the Quran is for warning. That was in Al-Azra 49. The Quran used to deal with the rough desert people back then the same way we deal with children today. 57. And those who believe and do righteous deeds, we will admit them to gardens beneath which rivers flow, abiding therein forever. They will have purified spouses there, and we will admit them into deep shade. Here, righteous deeds are mentioned alongside faith, meaning faith without righteous deeds is not enough. And this is an excellent thing, because it's not just about prayer, fasting, and worship. No, there must be deeds and righteous deeds in order to enter paradise. So the important thing is that the believers will have pure wives in paradise without what? Without menstruation, postpartum bleeding, and all those things. I don't know why they have such an issue with menstruation and postpartum bleeding. Anyway, alright, who is the source of this statement? I'll raise these keys of the unseen. If there's no ovulation in women, then there will be sperm in men. But isn't it supposed to be, that's it, you're the reason, that's it. You see, men also shouldn't have sperm or a normal ejaculation, right? That's it. There's no ovulation, no menstruation. Do I really need to explain how menstruation happens? So ovulation that doesn't get fertilized comes out as blood. I don't get it. I just don't understand why there's so much focus on women's purity. Well, ejaculation of sperm in men is the same thing. It's the same thing. I don't know, is this pure and that impure? 58. Allah commands you to return trust to owners. When you judge between people, judge justly. Truly, Allah gives you excellent advice. Indeed, Allah is all-hearing, all-seeing. Honestly, the word Allah is repeated here 3 times in the verse. But anyway, that's not our topic. My question here is, what's the connection between this verse and the ones before it really? The previous verse talks about the paradise of believers. They will have pure wives without menstruation or childbirth. Something luminous. All right, very good. And this verse is talking about judging with justice in this world. So That's the paradise of the afterlife. And this is about judging the justice in this world. So what's the connection between these two, really? That's verses 58 and 57. Anyway, I don't really understand the reason for the revelation. This verse was revealed because Al-Abbas ibn Abd al-Muttalib asked for the key to the Kaaba from Uthman ibn Abi Talha and his cousin, Sheba. They refused. No, you're not getting the key. The Prophet asked for it, and Sheba agreed. O Messenger of God, here's the key. But this key is a trust. The Prophet took the key, went and opened Mecca, broke the idols that were there, and then recited this verse, which Umar ibn al-Khattab heard. He said, "This is the first time I've heard the Prophet recite this verse. He never said it before." That's Umar ibn al-Khattab himself saying that this is the first time the Prophet recited this verse, and I never heard it from him before. All right, from source. Al-Jani li Akam al-Quran by al-Qurtubi. 59. O you who believed, obey Allah and obey Messenger and those in authority among you. If you disagree, refer it to Allah and Messenger if you believe in Allah and Last Day. That is best and best in result. Reason for revelation. This verse was revealed about Abdullah ibn Hudafa because the Prophet sent him at the head of a military expedition. You don't know where they were headed. The expedition lit a fire. They lit a fire, maybe due to cold or for tea. He wanted to joke around. He said to them, he said, "Do I have your obedience or not?" Just joking. They said to him, "Of course, you have our obedience. You are the one the Prophet put in charge of us." He said to them, "All right, well, I want you to jump into this fire." They got up, ready. He asked, "Where are you going?" "Don't jump into fire." When they returned to the Prophet, they told him, "Abdullah ibn Hudafa lit a fire for us. He told us, jump into it." Then he said, "I was just joking." So the Prophet said to them, "If someone commands you to disobey Allah, do not obey him." Then the verse was revealed. Is that clear? That's the reason for the revelation. What's the source? That's al-Qadir by al-Shawkani. Very good. Now look, sir, here's the issue that might take us a minute or two more. Here, obedience is only to Allah, represented in the Quran. As for the messenger, he is not to be obeyed. All right. So obey Allah, meaning obey the Quran, because the Quran is Allah's message to humanity. Very good. And look, obey Allah and obey the messenger in what he conveyed from his Lord, not the messenger's own self. The messenger has no obedience due to him. The messenger's mission is only to deliver the message. So, obey Allah, meaning obey Allah himself and Allah's Quran or Allah's message, both the self and the message. You obey the messenger and the message and what he conveyed from his Lord. So Allah originates or has originated the message. The Prophet transmitted the message. The rulers and judges implemented the message. But honestly, what makes me say this? It's that there are 11 verses in the Quran that say the messenger's duty is only to deliver the message. I mean, I've said it before, but for new people, meaning those who can review after me, this verse states explicitly that there are 11 verses for you. And Noor, 54, Spider 18, the table 99, the table 92, Thunder, Bees 35, Bees 82, Al-Imran 20, Al-Taghabun 12, Yasin 17, Shira 48. All of these mention that the only duty of the messenger is to deliver the message, nothing else. This negates any other responsibility from him. That's why the prophet doesn't even have the right to say hadiths, legislate, or speak at all. This is his only mission, because he himself said he's the one who said no. This was narrated by Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, who said that the prophet said, "Do not write anything from me except the Quran, and whoever has written anything other than the Quran should erase it." This is in Saudi Muslim. Have you not seen those who claim to have believed in what was revealed to you and what was revealed before you, yet they want to seek judgment from the tyrant, even though they were commanded to reject him? And Satan wants to lead them far astray. The reason this verse was revealed is that there was a hypocrite named Bishr. Bishr had a dispute with a Jew about a certain matter. The important thing is, they kept arguing. Who did the hypocrite want to judge between them? The Jew wanted to refer the matter to the Prophet Muhammad for judgment, but the hypocrite wanted to refer it to Kabi ibn al-Ashraf. Let's listen to her saying they argued. Omar said, "I will judge. Come." He took them to his house and sat in the living room. No couch or anything like that. He sat them in the living room, then went inside, brought out his sword, and used it to cut off the hypocrite's head without knowing the story. He didn't even know what the issue was that they were disagreeing about. He just went and cut off the head of who? Our guy, the hypocrite. Then the verse was revealed. Anyway, that's how it went. Anyway, that's the point. The important thing here is, in this verse, who is the tag hut? It's Kabi ibn al-Ashraf. Right, that's him. That's who is meant by tag hut, basically. Okay, so that was the first opinion about the reason for the revelation. The second opinion is that it was revealed about a man named the Laba ibn Hatib. The Laba ibn Hatib had a dispute with al-Zubair ibn al-Awwam. Anyway, they went to the Prophet to judge between them. So who did he rule in favor of? His cousin, al-Zubair. So when they left, one sulking, al-Zubair happy, judgment in his favor. And our guy the Laba was upset. As they passed, al-Miqdad ibn al-Aswad asked the Laba, who did the Prophet rule in favor of? He told him, he ruled in favor of his cousin, and he pouted, you know. So what happened? So when he did that, yes, he twisted his mouth mockingly at the Prophet's judgment. Then the verse was revealed as a consequence of what their hands had done. It's clear that this verse was revealed in parts, not all at once, which is very good to know. So it was revealed as a result of what their hands had done. Which is what? Which is twisting his mouth after he pouted. You know, when they asked al-Miqdad ibn al-Aswad and told him he ruled in favor of his cousin, that's what happened. So the verse was revealed as a result of what their hands had done. When it was revealed as a result of what their hands had done, the Laba went to the Prophet to apologize. And then another verse was revealed. Then they came to you, swearing by God, we only intended good. So clear it related to verse appointed times, revealed in parts depending on conversation. It didn't come down at once. This verse. All right, so what's the source? Bar al-Ulam by al-Samarkandi. Thank you all, and I'll see you next Friday.